Oh boy, footy is back. That's right. I'm Toby Green and I'm currently still playing and taping today's show, which is somewhat... No, I'm not Toby Green. I'm Jaymz Clements. You can also see me on NBA Australia, the official SuperCoach AFL show. This is the AFL Today show, your one-stop shop for all things footy. And of course, we are joined as always by the man who is probably, I don't know, top 5 famous person in Melbourne right now. If you head down to St Kilda, you can just yell at him across a crowded bar, catch his eye, say hi. It's the Stats Guy. What's going on, Stats Guy?
I knew I shouldn't have said that, but yeah, it was pretty funny. A bit of a story there. Yeah, pumped to be back in the studio for some awesome footy, yeah.
Some awesome footy.
Yeah,
we're not
awesome
playing
footy.
We're talking footy.
We're talking footy. Oh, we can play. Why don't we play? Yeah.
Maybe we should
I still play.
Can we overlay a TikTok onto some games and this is where they transition out of defence?
The guy with the bad ideas is Alex Donnelly.
I stole that one from Trent Cotchin, so clearly not my own idea.
But my vibe here is the simple, talking footy sounds like a great idea for a show. Just saying.
It is.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's the joke.
AFL Today.
My God. Anyway, round 2, it's done. Well, it's not quite. Peek behind the curtain. GWS are 10 goals up on West Coast. I feel
They're going to come back. They're going to come back.
I think we're safe.
Imagine if we would tape this and then they have the best comeback of all time.
A few of us are
Would you get
riding.
more excited than you are right now? Like,
Yes.
A few of us are riding GWS 100 plus here, so
Yeah. Just no names. Mentioned, but there might
no
be a
names
few of us.
mentioned, but
all right, but before we get into today's AFL Today show today, remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow AFL Today on all the socials, all that sort of gear. Today, what do we do on the Saturday night show? Gentlemen, we talk about a quick look at what's going on. We have Vent Sesh, my favourite. It is literally my
just
segment.
Jim's segment,
It's just
pretty
me
much.
just yelling about something. Then we wrap every single game from the round.
Yep.
We have our tipping results. Full credit to the boys, which is the best team we saw this week. Best on ground of the week, who dominated the most?
We've actually
we've got
nailed it
5
down a
names
bit.
in there this week, and then we'll give a 3-2-1.
We're slowly figuring that
We're
one out.
stuffed next week because Carlton are back.
We've got Legend of the
Yeah.
Week, Old Mate, No Mate's Why I Can't Stand, and of course a little bit of a SuperCoach look. So before we do it, quick look. How's everything stand after round 2?
Amazing.
It's pretty good if you're from
Not
Sydney,
for me, but yeah.
because we are on track for an all-Sydney grand final, clearly. So, because the Swans and GWS will be on top of the ladder after this round is
Looks
done.
Awesome, yeah.
I don't know. You might have also heard. This is probably not going to get talked about either this much this week either, because not many people seem to care about a team called Collingwood.
No.
Nor the fact that they're 0-3.
0-3. Surely
What is
not,
going
Jim.
on?
Surely
Oh,
not.
I love it. Oh, geez. My favourite thing is like the horrible graphics that we're seeing out there. The reigning premier is 0-3. It hasn't happened since 1999. And people go, it happened last year.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
There was someone just badly worded that Collingwood have not started 0-3.
Yeah, they didn't really word that very well.
Yeah, I was about to say, reigning premiers is not the wordage you should use. But what I don't like is they're like, we're going to flick the switch. We're going to flick the switch. You tried, didn't work.
That's why I'm happy I tipped the Saints. I can't trust them at the moment, the Pies.
That is your go-to, I've realised. Stats guys, when he doesn't like a team, can't trust him at the moment.
Yeah.
He's like, ding.
He spent his entire life not trusting North Melbourne.
Exactly right.
We've also got Peter Wright being rubbed out for a big hit. Obviously, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yep.
And we also had some injury news. Who was that?
Stephen May.
Well, Stephen May was the biggest one, probably.
He's
Yeah.
got 2 broken ribs and a cracked vertebrae. So
Maybe I told just
Did the
clean him up.
milkshake get onto him again?
Entrecôte, yeah. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Revs and he just fell down the steps. I don't know what happened. Those are very sketchy steps. I'll just say
That's
that.
fair. Harry Cunningham's obviously got a concussion. That's not great.
Yep.
No.
I think Ed Richards had a concussion in the...
Oh, I didn't see that one. I saw
And
Caulfield hurt his shoulder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we don't know about Jake Lever's knee where he literally landed. It's like, that doesn't look great.
Yep. But otherwise, it was a good week for the teams in round 1 that got that first win on the board, because you look at teams
predicted
like
that, yeah.
Port, Geelong, Melbourne, Freo. Wait, Melbourne already
2-0.
played. But Freo now 2-0. These teams that are now 2-0.
Bit of confidence.
Or even
Dude,
2-1.
we're cruising, yeah.
Yeah.
So Melbourne cruising at 2-1 after playing the opening round and not looking great. Now they're back.
But then it's like they played Hawthorn.
Yeah, and just smacked him. Yeah.
But we will wrap up all those games in just a second. Before that, Vent Sesh.
Jim segment.
It's a very, very simple Vent Sesh this week. Can we just get the times right? This isn't even like, can we start the footy a bit earlier because I'm an old man? No, this is literally like, can you think things through just a hint That's all I want.
Yeah.
Because today in Melbourne, there was the Grand Prix.
Yes.
That's pretty big. It also had a lot of people at it.
135,000.
Exactly.
Presumably people who like sport. On the same day, we also had
Alex was there, yeah.
This guy.
an NBL final, which is only...
You can't help that one.
No.
That's a tough one. 'cause
And that
it's
was at a
like
later time anyway.
Game 3, it started after the footy stuff. But how do we not just have the simple idea of going, well, let's push back the start time from Richmond, Port Adelaide at the G.
To 6:30.
To a little bit later to accommodate the folks who are at the GP who might want to go to the footy after. That becomes an awesome day of sport.
Like you said, Jim.
Instead,
Vice
you've got a
President Common Sense.
half-empty flipping like
Well, you
G.
could have also done it yesterday when qualifying was on for the F1. Again, over 100,000 people there. You could have had Hawthorn and
after,
Melbourne.
yeah.
No, not before. You could have had it after.
After,
Like it could have been the Saturday night game. Saturday twilight could have been Sydney and Essendon in Sydney.
Yeah.
You know, AFL doesn't care about Golden Slipper.
It was weird. What are you doing?
Lots of...
That's sesh.
Yeah, common sense is not
I do love
very common.
no overlapping games of football though. It's great.
Yeah,
It
that
is.
helped.
When we have 9 teams, if we have Thursday night footy and we have it laid out like this, play the 9th game on a Monday night.
Again, this isn't rocket surgery. We're just saying.
We just want more football.
Yeah.
We just want to watch football all
That's
the time.
kind of. That's also like I almost wanted to have this at the top of the show. Like, and I'll get to this in a little bit.
Yeah.
But having this much footy, that's all I ever want.
Yeah.
Just keep giving me footy. Force feed me.
that's what we're
I'm
here for.
Homer in the donut eating machine.
Yeah.
And it's just footy. And I'm like, yes, mate.
You live in the footy pie.
Gerald, make that graphic happen. Let's do it. I mean, to be honest, you could just take a picture of me, and it's pretty Homer-esque at this point. But anyway, let's do some game raps.
Yes.
Game raps. Game raps. We had Thursday. Remember that? The
Yeah.
Saints smashed the Pies. That was pretty
Remember
fun.
That was awesome.
That was a great...
Hey, guys, remember that one time when the Saints smashed the Pies? 94-79. This was a really fun game to watch, which no one really expected. Like, it was back and forth early.
Yeah.
If the Saints play like that the rest of the year, that'll be one of the most exciting teams to watch.
In the last quarter against Geelong, they're like, we need to play fast. And they did. And then they've done it all night Thursday.
Yeah.
It's like, is St Kilda going to be enjoyable to watch?
Yeah, we were bagging them being on Thursday too many games. And they're like, well, they were very
I'm still
exciting.
not
on
going to watch
Thursday.
them play the Western Bulldogs in 3 weeks.
It was fun to see the likes of Dane Swan go, can you name 3 Saints backmen? It's like, what, the same backman who just towed the Pies?
Yeah,
It
well,
is-
you got Wilkie's an absolute jet. He's
Wilkie's-
underrated, yeah.
Anyway, otherwise, what else did you read from this game, gentlemen?
Yeah, I chucked in some notes there. Saints were amazing from the get-go right down here. So many players starting to hit their prime, like Higgins obviously kicking 4 goals. You got Nazaya Owanganeen Miller, who I said is going to be the breakout player of the season. He absolutely tore it up. Really good SuperCoach pick if people want to get on that. 25 kicks were his 32 disposals and 81% efficiency. He's an absolute jet. So,
Let people kick the football.
yeah, and then we obviously talk about Nick Dacos. He was everyone was talking about where his 50 games ranked. That's going to be up there with his worst.
46th best game?
I reckon it was 49.
Yeah.
50's that game against Hawthorn.
Yeah, and then this is his second worst. He still had 22 touches, but none of them were
He
really
had
effective.
no impact on the game.
No impact on the game. Ryan Burns did really well as a tagger for the Saints.
I did love it. Oh, the Dacos brothers are combining. It's like, yeah, but it's not very effective.
Josh was
I
really
loved
good.
it. Oh, the arching of the back to get away and clanger of a handball.
Yeah.
Tough game. But the Saints look up and about. That's kind of weird, kind of fun. Exciting if you're a Saints fan to sort of see that game, even though I don't know, they've still got question marks. They lost last week.
Yeah.
And then
There
that
was
awesome,
periods
though.
of time in this game where St Kilda, and then they just turned it back on, and it's just like,
I think they got a good
it's
balance
very
there.
uneven at the moment. Once
Awesome
they,
though for Spud's game. Awesome
Yeah.
for
Yes.
I don't know, this is a bit of the Michael Gudinski sort of, he, was a massive Saints supporter.
Yep.
And there was a lot of stuff happening around the anniversary of his passing with Mushroom and stuff. But then really, sucked in Pies.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
God, I love that they're 0-3.
and Max
3.
King got a week for throwing an elbow.
He got a
that was
week for
picked
that,
up
did
for
he?
the match review officer. I think they've got till tomorrow 5 o'clock to say if they're going to go to the tribunal or not.
Yeah, I think they will.
Because that's pretty big for next week against Essendon. If
But
he
I think
doesn't
what
play.
we've seen, like from, all joking aside, Collingwood, just a lot of one-way action, very little defensive midfield pressure.
Yeah.
But it's like
And
De Goey,
here we are.
Maynard, they're just not there at the moment. And that's what I think.
Pendlebury as well.
The talking of flicking a switch, it's so obvious that this would have been the week to do it after getting smashed by Sydney
100%,
and GWS. It's not something that just goes on.
Yep.
Like you can't do it. Because when you think about Collingwood just quickly, aside from that year they bottomed out in 2021, they played in that grand final against West Coast. They're in finals the following year. COVID 2020, they got to the second week of the
Still
finals.
good, yeah.
2021, Bucks left bottom out. 2022, charge up the ladder again. 2023, grand final. So 5 of the last 6 years, they were actually right up the top.
Yeah.
And it's come to an end. Steel Sidebottom looks 47 years old now. Every possession's a clanger.
I'm pretty sure he is 47.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
And Pendles, he looked a bit slow.
Did you
as
know
well.
he used to play basketball?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You learn so much on this podcast.
Right, Friday, Adelaide. Hosting Geelong. Geelong looked awesome. They beat the Crows 96-77. Big questions about the Crows' defense.
Also, the Crows' use of the ball into the forward 50.
Just
fan favourite.
He was horrible. Oh my God.
So the fan favourite being Luke
Pedlar. I love Luke Pedlar, but that's probably the worst he's ever played. He was kicking it the opposite direction to his teammates. It was very weird.
It was a strange one.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they got the big Texan back and they never quite clicked on offense at all during
They
that
butchered
game.
the footy in the forward 50 all night.
But they still had like these moments where it's like, that's the Adelaide flash,
But they should have
It's
won.
kind of cool. And they just absolutely stunk
They
it
had a
up.
lot more inside 50s, and then Alex is right, they were just bombing it and then scrub kicks and not really
But then
taking care of
going for the
ball.
Larry goals instead of looking to square it up or handball it off. It's just,
Not good.
this is going to sound wild. I don't think Adelaide know how to win a game.
Well, there was 7 games, close games they lost last year. We've talked about that, and then I know this wasn't as close, but it was.
This
close
was a
before
game.
A few late goals.
Watching it, they should have won this game, and they didn't.
Yep.
And quickly, Patrick Dangerfield obviously playing against his old team. At what point do you stop booing him?
Why are they
Never.
booing him?
Never.
Why are they booing him?
Always boo him.
Yeah.
I love
He
it.
didn't do anything wrong. He was a legend of their club.
Yeah, of course he was.
And then he's.
But you know what makes a club great, Stats Boy?
Well, booing.
Hating people.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't.
You need straw man arguments to go, yeah, we would have won a flag if we had a left, and like just weird stuff like that. You have to
Doesn't
have.
everyone remember Jack Gunston left Adelaide? Is he going to get booed later this year?
Brisbane,
If he's a
yeah.
club champion, though, like I love the idea that Adelaide
he did so.
actually screw that guy. That's awesome. Like one of my least favorite things is when Toronto fans finally forgot about Vince Carter. They hated him and hated him and hated him and hated him because he did screw them over. And he went, actually, guys, peace out. I'll see you. And like a lot of NBA players do that. They've done that a lot more since Vince Carter sort of went, I need to trade to the Nets. And away we went. But Toronto hated him with a passion.
Yeah.
And then he sort of came back and smoothed it all over. It took 20 years. And I'm like, now I don't respect you, Toronto. You're going to hold on to that hate. Mold
But
it
they're
into
Canadians.
just
They're
some-
nice.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
They're very nice.
So I
Yeah,
think there's the answer. If you want to be nice, 20 years. If you just want to be like a hate-filled,
20
anger,
Sorry,
a hate-filled angermonger like me, your entire
Are you
life.
saying Dave's going to play another 10?
And finally, before we move on for this game, Matthew Nix's plan of letting Tom Stewart have no opponent all night, great idea.
Well, it didn't help when they were just bombing
Doesn't
down his
matter.
throat.
He just got a 2-year extension. He's like, I don't need to coach.
Yeah, he's like, I got the money in the
He's
bank.
like, I just got a
already.
new Rari. This is awesome. But Geelong, their offense looked awesome. Tomahawk and Cameron looked great. Like, it was really fun.
Jezza did have the
Stewart
moment
was
of the night.
amazing in his 150th. Definitely best on
Stewart, I don't know, he played, 150 games. It's like, that was probably up there with one of
Are we
his
going to
best.
rank? Let's rank all of his 1 to 150
There was
right
that
now.
day he had 46 touches. That's number one.
Lionel Messi had a pretty good game too. Saturday, your beloved North Stats Boy.
Oh, do I
Take
have to
centre
talk-
stage, stats guy.
Wow, they lose to Freo 102-76. They were up and about.
The group chat was on fire.
The lid was off.
You
at
guys were
Marvel.
very confident. And,
Stats Boy had 3 beers and had his shirt off in the
oh,
crowd.
I almost did, bloody hell.
Marry me, Suva, plastered across his
He wasn't even
chest.
doing much.
He ended up with 3 goals though, the Suva, but he also got towed up basically in general, right? And you're like,
Well, we didn't kick it to him very well, but yeah, it wasn't.
Luke
like,
Jackson had a great game.
Remember when Luke Jackson just went, I'm the best one out here?
That was the second half. It was literally North. Yeah, as you mentioned, started out on fire. Sheasel, Wardlaw, and McKercher were like, oh, the new wave of North is here. You guys are bagging me for not
Clarko
to-
ball.
Clarko ball. Had a 32-point lead. I'm thinking, I wasn't still
We were
confident.
excited.
You two were sending me texts, why didn't you tip North? I'm like, oh.
Yeah, fake fan, stats guy.
And then the second
Absolute
half
fake fan.
rolled around. You could see the change was happening in the end of the second quarter where they kicked, I think it was 3 in a row.
They got that goal
Yeah.
on the siren. I was like, they're
goal on the
screwed.
siren. Dodgy free kick, might I say. But that definitely didn't cost us the game. They ended up towing us up.
No,
Luke
it
Jackson said, not on my watch. In the second half, he absolutely dominated. 24 touches, 2 goals, pretty much
170 odd SuperCoach
170
points.
SuperCoach. And then the Dockers kicked 10 goals to 3 in the second half.
Yeah. I still think, though,
That
if
killed me.
that out on the full was given to North and you kicked that goal, that could have swung it.
That was the loudest the crowd was all game, just booing the umpires for about 20 minutes
Very
after
typical of
that.
North
That
fans.
literally hit about a metre up on the goalpost and the umpire was right there. Anyway,
As
that didn't cost us
we
the
know
game.
this
That didn't
week,
cost us.
out on the full is just not a thing.
Yeah, all holding the ball. Yeah,
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
it was
Freo
just,
were solid
it
in
just
the
felt
second
like
half.
that third quarter when you just
But your
decided.
kids.
Yeah, North Melbourne just went, wait a minute, there's a second half?
The second quarter proved that we have the talent, but then just
your kids.
Yeah, I just went to sleep in the third quarter.
The score worm for that game
I don't want to look at the score worm.
The worm committed suicide.
I was actually going to
The worm just gave up and just took a dive. She's like, I'm out of here, peace. I'm going to go fishing. Hawks, Melbourne, you also went to this one, Stats Boy. 93-38. Melbourne smashed Hawthorn.
They did.
We talked this up as a bit of a litmus test for the Hawks and that sort of the midfield,
they suck.
What they can do, and they were not good.
They honestly suck.
Leo, who's also on this show, left early. I heard he was not happy. There we go. I'll see what he has to say about that on.
But honestly, did we learn anything out of this? Because Hawthorn's defense is not great, and Melbourne still didn't kick a humongous score. It was
forget their defense; they only scored 38 points.
Yeah,
I think
that's we know Hawthorn can't score a goal. We've literally got a screen on right now. West Coast have kicked 2 goals to 3/4 time.
Yeah.
We know that they've got problems going forward. But your defense is what you know is where you start. You build the defense and then you roll from there.
Yeah.
And you're letting Melbourne just waltz through and kick 93 points with Ben Brown
without sweating. Pretty much, it was shocking.
Like
Petrarca was amazing.
That defensive effort that he made in the last quarter was phenomenal. Like the game's over and he's still doing that. That's the type of stuff that the club gets around. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
The biggest thing out of this that we take away is Stephen May's got his broken ribs, and that's massive for Melbourne.
That is massive. Yeah.
Like, against a good team, that's a worry.
Really is. It's a when you ask the question, what do we learn? It's like, well, Melbourne can just sort of do this to bad teams.
Yeah.
And Hawthorn aren't a good team yet.
And
it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Right? They're young. They'll learn.
Who would you rather?
Got some worries.
North or Hawthorn right now?
Probably still Hawthorn.
Oh,
sorry, Stats Boy.
No. But the argument there.
I wasn't actually sorry. All right, Swans Bombers 131.
Yeah. Swans
101.
Yeah.
What a game this was.
This was awesome.
Great game, yeah.
I was watching Dune 2 for most of this game and also surreptitiously giving the old, jeez. But then, for like maybe the first half and then the second half I was at dinner. Oh, geez. It's a bit of a close one.
Yeah.
Very fun game. Chaos last quarter when no one just played defense.
Yeah, it was a bit of defense.
Just what was going absolutely back and forth. It became aerial ping pong. So
it was great.
Take us through it, Alex. Beloved Swans.
Yeah.
You've got like a page and a half.
He's been so happy since the start of the AFL season because the bloody Swans haven't lost.
He's only punched holes in 3 walls. That's one for every win. That's good.
The pressure in this game from the outset was phenomenal. Like Essendon got the jump early while the Swans just like, they're bringing it, okay, and then they really got back into the game and led at quarter time. The biggest problem out of this game was Essendon's transition. Anytime they turned the ball over, the Swans like, thank you. Oh, you're training cones. We're just going to waltz around. There was no defensive pressure while the Swans just went into their forward line.
They'll walk it.
I think it was 19 marks inside 50 for the Swans for the night.
Jeez.
This is what's going to cost Essendon a lot of games through the year is they just can't defend. I know Ridley's still got to come back and Mason Redmond, which will help, but you can't. The Swans had 38 scoring shots. It was ridiculous. The Swans' fitness was what won them game. They kicked 12 goals after the 20-minute mark of the 4 quarters, and they ran it out really strongly. You've got to say that Zach Merritt and Billings were great for Essendon. Just absolutely phenomenal. Not Billings, Gresham.
Gresham.
They're the same person. Like,
they came from the Saints. They came from
Gresham.
Overrated player that's kind of okay, but they were fantastic. Isaac Heaney again, great. Papley, Errol, Chunley, like we've said it the last 2 weeks, they've been great. But the biggest point out of this game was how good is Travis Clerk's mustache.
I didn't even see that, but then I was like,
getting in the scrap. He's the runner for Essendon, which is wild for me. But he was in the middle of a scrap. I was like, that's awesome.
How was he in the middle of the fight?
Well, he was just pulling the Essendon players away from like the scrap, which I get. But that was all due to Peter Wright deciding to send Harry Cunningham's jaw into Fox Studios.
I also just think it's funny and probably just much more likely that you have mustache envy.
Oh, I do. 100%.
It's fine. I get beard envy still. Like I'll see a dude with a beard. I'm like, that's a good beard.
Want to swap beards, mate?
That's pretty good.
Yours is fake, isn't it? You're just going to pull it off.
Mine's just a latch. Stick on. But anyway, good one.
Do we want to mention anything about Papley coming out and saying, they were being sort of snipers and fake tough guys, but you've got to win the game of footy?
No, I think he's got a very good point. He's got a very, very good point. They were starting fights.
He quite literally described Essendon. And people got upset.
A lot of Essendon fans are like, Papley, you're a sniper. And he's like, I kicked 4 and had 20.
Yeah, he's like, shut up. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
Sunday, my old hometown. The Dogs and the Suns went to California, knows how to party. California knows how to party.
All right, Western Bulldogs won. We move on.
No, this was a massive win for the Dogs.
It was a
to
huge win, yeah.
Pressure relief off Bevo.
Yeah.
Suns, and this is why I tipped the Dogs going into this. It's just like, do the Suns have that grit? Do they have that dog
They're
in them?
definitely not.
Have you got that dog in your Suns? The answer is no.
No.
Take them out of the Sunshine State and boom.
Yeah.
You go to the opposite of the Sunshine State, Ballarat.
The sun was out,
I
though.
know, it wasn't in Ballarat. I think it was fake. It wasn't in. It was. It wasn't
See,
in
that's why I
Ballarat.
said this game
Fake
isn't
win.
real. This game does not count because the sun was out.
Did you see that big green screen behind? It's just pretending to be Ballarat.
So it's like the moon landing.
No, it's like how they shot.
Here we
It's
go.
like how they shot the Mandalorian
That's our
with
other
like
podcast.
that. The Mandalorian with like the massive, big sort of swooping
Actually,
thing.
Stats
Yeah.
has to walk back all of his Kate Middleton stuff now too. After he
he?
said she was a lizard person.
Ooh,
Okay, you guys said worse stuff than that, but anyway.
No, I didn't.
not on record.
We just said she was hanging out with Tom Lynch in Mexico.
Okay.
Like,
Well, okay. On the record, I take that all back. Is that all right?
Point being, the Dogs looked fantastic. Bont was incredible.
Yes. 32 and 2 goals.
the Gold Coast fade out.
Yeah.
The one quarter fade out where they let the other team kick a crap ton of goals.
Yeah.
It was the first quarter this year.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah.
And here we are. But I think when you talk about Ballarat, like this is the same thing about what I talked about earlier, the scheduling. Yes, have your games in Ballarat earlier in the year when it's not
When it's sunny.
absolutely horrid to be outside, which is May through August.
I was going to say May through February. You could go out in March and
it
smash.
does get very hot there too. There's like very little in between.
Sanders was really good as well. I just wanted to mention him.
Yeah, he
he
was.
could be up there in the
He might get the rising star nod this
McKercher will
week.
be up there, I think, for North as well. He was really good. But yeah, Sanders was awesome. That
Yeah.
was sort of his breakout game, getting a bit of confidence.
Yeah,
He wasn't great last
in
week.
game 2. He had a
Cody
breakout.
Waitman.
Yeah.
Like Cody Waitman is the story. Like he
Nah.
booted an absolute
How many
ton
did
of
he
load.
kick?
He
in
ended up
the-
with 6.
Oh, he kicked 3 in the first.
Yeah, it was like a bunch in the first, and
Yeah.
like off you go. I think wasn't it? Might have even got
Do
to
it
4
in a
very
game
early.
where there's pressure and there's stakes, and then I'll believe
Well,
it.
this is a pretty pressure-filled
Suns
game
are a
because
good
if they
team, yeah.
start if they start 0-2,
Yeah.
this week would have been
The media all
Collingwood
about that.
stink.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Bevo's out.
Sack Bevo.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's not much in between. They get a nice win against a good team. Like that's pretty important. And they've still got Jack McRae to come back in, obviously. And like the Suns really couldn't, like after giving up 8 goals or whatever it was in the first quarter.
Yeah,
It was just
9 goals.
It was really tough.
And
for
then
them to get
after
back
quarter
in.
time, it was 9 goals to 8.
Yeah, it was like 9-1, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
like absolute chaos.
So yeah, after Bulldogs kicked 9 goals to 8 after quarter time, but it just shows that when Gold Coast wanted to compete, they were in the game. It's just they've got these fade outs are going to kill them.
Sam Darcy was solid in his first game as well. I'm happy to see him going.
Oscar Baker back in his spiritual home.
Jack McRae had about
Love that.
1,000 possessions.
Where is
in the
Oscar Baker
VFL.
actually from?
We'll get to that.
There you go.
Okay.
Ben King kicked up a couple. Nick Holman kicked a couple, but this is
Suns couldn't get going.
just same old Suns.
Yeah.
Like they'll do these. They'll have these sorts of games.
Where do they play next week?
When they play just not on the Gold
By the
Coast
way, we're gonna-
or in like the
Yeah.
Northern Territory
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Like it's random. It's weird.
Unless they're North.
So Gold Coast
yeah.
have the bye before gather round now.
I'll back 'em.
and then they play GWS.
Tough scenes. Good win for the Dogs. Tough loss for the Suns. Not wildly unexpected.
Yeah.
Richmond, Port Adelaide. Richmond 92, Port 122. Thanks to a bloke named Connor Rose.
Yeah.
And
Butters.
Butters was awesome. Rose was awesome. The Power were awesome.
Finlayson and Marshall were great.
They've got the power to win.
This game was actually closer
was
than the score
awesome.
suggests. I walked in before and Alex goes, "This is a great game." I was like, "Yeah, it's goal for goal." Then not goal for goal, but Port would kick a couple, Richmond would get it back.
Yeah, so Richmond kicked out to an early lead, and then Port got in front, and it's like, all right, we're better than you. And then Richmond get close and Port like, okay, that's enough.
That's enough.
Kick a couple of
Yeah.
goals.
It was weird, yeah.
And then they're like, okay, we're sweet. Richmond, no, we're going to try again. And it was just sort of like that for the last 3 quarters. And it's like, are Richmond better than we thought and they just have a lot of grit? Or like, what do we take out of this? Because Richmond, arguably should have beaten Carlton.
Yep.
You can argue all you want.
No, they weren't the better team.
they
though,
But
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, they got so close, and 5 goals doesn't do justice with how good that they played. Port Adelaide kicked a goal at the start of the last quarter. It was absolutely touched. And the score review system, because when you zoom in, it looks like it's 1852.
Yeah, it's the
Couldn't tell.
We got potatoes.
Well, here we are.
Yeah.
We're back here at the AFL.
Dateline, Springfield.
Everybody zoom in and use your eye thingamajigs to see how close it was.
Southside Canadians are back on the show.
amazing.
So and then Port kicked another goal like 30 seconds later, and it's like, okay, that's game over. It's done. But I don't I don't know what to take. I just think Port are going to be obviously a lot better at home, and maybe just Richmond and the MCG are going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we should take.
Same as last week.
They can cover the line. They can go pretty well at the G. I think Richmond.
It's a tough one though. Like just in terms of the Tigers,
They're 0-3.
tough start to the year.
Yeah, obviously
we
they're-
all kind of saw that coming.
And then here's the problem for Richmond. They play the Swans next week.
Oh,
at the G or the SCG?
G.
okay.
Interesting game.
That'd be-
Easter
that'd be
Sunday
a fun game,
afternoon.
I reckon, yeah.
I can't wait.
High scoring.
I'll be there.
And in terms of a game wrap for the GWS West Coast game, they're still getting beaten by a
They're not-
substantial amount, but it's only now 44 points.
It's not horrible. Yeah.
Tom Green's had 30 touches.
I think our hundreds are gone.
Yeah, no, 100 screwed.
Harley Reid had a great run up the
Yeah,
we were watching.
the Eagles fans were up and about. He balked a couple, then he face palmed another one straight into the ground, and it was
Wasn't
very
face palm,
exciting.
straight in the sternum.
It was in the sternum, was it? There you go. He looked awesome.
Yeah, it's as we expected. Jeremy McGovern's had an absolute stack of it. He's had 25 touches, but it's been the Green and Whitfield show in the midfield, and then they've just sort of shared around the goals. They haven't really kicked straight. They haven't needed to kick straight,
11-11,
but they've done
So
enough.
far.
Like it's just like, oh yeah, we're going to win by 40.
More importantly, to come out of this game is how good is that GWS alternate strip?
Thank you. Yes, I love it.
Love it.
All their
And
kits are awesome.
as something of a, I don't know, shall we say, jersey provocateur, or just
Connoisseur.
basically
Just a
connoisseur.
lover of kits.
I do love
You are
a good kit.
Good kit matchup.
And
great
with the
kit
new Devils coming in, the AFL basically has the weirdest, wildest, most amazing array of kittage
It's going to be, yeah.
in world sport.
Yeah.
Like
But the problem is most of them don't
chops,
change.
The NBA, that's it. The NBA chops and changes too much. The AFL
agree.
has and
Soccer
should-
changes, football changes.
to be honest-
no, but the EPL has their color scheme that they stick to, and it's maybe
does AFL.
maybe a little bit of like a pattern within the shirt, but they don't change from those main colors.
But then they go out and do a thing here. It's like, oh, look, we're all bright yellow. We're all fluoros.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
you idiots. But
that is hey, if we win the league, I'll buy a Kai Havertz fluoro.
Oh, no.
anyway, point being, the AFL does a really great job, and I feel like they should get someone like, I don't know, me, the vice president
How
of
many
common
jobs is this guy
sense.
doing?
That's a lot. Probably too many. Vice president of common sense when it relates to kittage, because this JWS, like the way that they roll out theirs,
Very simple.
They have like the charcoal ones. Stuff
That's
like
great,
this.
yeah.
This
Some
one,
of them,
their home one.
just a couple of really good alternates. I think every team has a core group that they can sort of build around, and they just need to stick to it.
Yeah.
which I'll get to. In
I
a
love
second.
the Swans alternate, which is the South Melbourne.
The South, the same as me with the North.
North
Downing
rolling
Route.
out the old school.
The
kit
fact that we
last
got
week
rid of
was
that for
awesome.
about 15 years was a joke. That's one of the best kits.
Your club is a joke.
Oh,
Tipping
it says
results. I got 5. Alex got 5. Stats Boy got 6.
Yeah.
We are
Yes.
assuming GWS are going to win
Yeah,
with
they will.
5 minutes to go.
But that was all because we actually had faith in North.
Yeah.
Alex and I, and Stats Boy is a bad fan.
Well, I got the tip for us.
I tipped the Saints.
Best team of the week, aka full credit to the boys. Who was the best team I saw this week? The Sydney Swans.
Nice.
They were really fun. And as I said, I watched like half of this game on my phone surreptitiously, but watched a bunch of it on the replay this morning. I'm like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
They look great.
It's just
And
a
they're
lot of
missing like
left-footed
3 dudes
dudes.
still. It's chaos.
No, they're just
So-
putting 130 on so easily.
But no,
yeah.
it's just like a lot of left-footed dudes running off half-back,
Yeah,
kicking it.
yeah.
And
All
then
right,
you
full
just,
credit to the boys, Alex.
I'm going with St Kilda, knocking off Collingwood in a
good.
big game, Spuds game, and at the MCG. So
I don't know. You knocked off the bottom team on the ladder.
yeah, but it is
That's a huge
it is
win.
St Kilda that we're
Yeah.
talking about. So they actually needed to come out and win this game, especially after losing in round 1.
Yep.
So good on them. Good
Stats
job,
boy.
Sainers.
I'm going the Dogs. I know Alex talked them down a little bit. I think that's a huge win.
That's just how Alex talks.
I do hate the Western
You do hate the
Bulldogs.
Western
I
Bulldogs.
just
Yeah, I think that's a huge win for obviously Bevo. Bevo can sleep easy this weekend now.
he might not. He'll still try and punch
Oh,
someone.
they absolutely smashed them. I think that was a great win. Suns, everyone was talking about the Suns, and then they absolutely smoked them. So great win.
Nice one. Best on ground of the week,
Yeah,
we need to
aka
decide this.
the Bogatua. Who was the best performer that we saw? I loved Luke Jackson. I love
Yeah.
that game. He just grabbed that game by the
Oh,
scruff of the
he
neck. and
dominated
went,
us.
Boys, jump on.
He played every position. He was getting intercept marks. He was getting clearances, and then he was getting
even
goals.
He nearly took the mark of the century.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Even after the game, like they were asking like just random other Freo players going, that was pretty good, right? And they're like, yeah. He was like just rocking to himself at times.
Yeah,
it was
he was.
gnarly.
What does
And you're
Sean
like, that
Darcy
was
do when
awesome.
he comes back?
I don't know.
Gets traded to Geelong.
Gets punted into the sun. I don't know.
Well, he's a really good ruckman as well.
I know,
Yeah.
but they re-signed him for 4 years, and it's just like Jackson's got to be on his own.
Jackson is much better in the ruck.
Heard it here first. Sean Darcy will be traded
Hang
at the
on.
end of the season.
Jackson on bowler.
No, shut up, unicorn.
Double ruck.
I actually don't mind that. Take the Pavlich role.
Yeah.
Adam Goods.
Adam Goods, yeah.
Other nominees for Boggart were Best on Ground of the Week. Zach Butters, obviously amazing.
34 and a goal, yeah. He was really good.
Tom Stewart and his 150th.
Yeah.
Oh, we should also give some props to Boak. The 350, wasn't it?
Yeah, no one really talks about that.
He had 15 touches and did nothing. Good job.
But
Dacos
350 is an amazing
has played 50 games and literally had I don't know, Moomba named after him.
That's why he got
and
50.
Floats just floating down.
Moomba
He actually finally got his...
Moomba's now named Dacos, so just saying. Hey, what are you doing for Dacos? I don't know, hanging out, having a few snags, cutting some rides. Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
He actually paid homage to his 50th game by getting only 50 SuperCoach points as well.
He got 54.
Oh, go on. Just go along with it, mate.
No.
A, go along with it. B, did you come up with that before? Did you have that written on your hand?
I just came on with it then.
Nice one.
Oh, that's better than half the crap you brought out.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Chudley Warner, Chudley Warner. I still hate his haircut, so he can't win it. I'm not going to give him any votes.
I agree with that.
His 2 goals were absolute pylon goals at the end, but they were so good.
He was very good, though.
But he was awesome that game.
What about Errol's celebration? Did you see Victor Goyekers?
Yes, yeah.
Pretty good.
And everyone's like, what? And everyone's just like...
And Tom Green's racking him up like it's, I don't know, stats boy at a pool hall or something. I can't believe I got beaten again. I'm going to give this, bear with me, number 3. I'm going to give it to Butters. I thought he was
3 votes?
awesome.
Yeah, I
3
think
votes,
he's got to get it.
2 votes, Luke Jackson.
Yep.
1 vote, Tom Stewart.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Nice one. But who is the legend of the week? Because
this is easy.
Yeah.
legend of the week is easily for me, Jezza Cameron, giving the holding the ball call to the tackled on the ground pinned pitch invader.
That was so funny.
Which I'll get to in a second. But Jeremy Cameron having the wherewithal and just the comedic timing to go,
funny, yeah.
What are you doing? Ball!
Yeah, but he put his hand to his mouth.
He did the whistle as
He
well.
blew the whistle.
Yeah.
He gave him the ball. It was
I don't know
amazing.
if you guys know, he has a big YouTube account that
I saw a video of him today.
It's so funny.
But he's like, I'm going to do more content.
Yeah.
It's going to be farm stuff.
The way he talks is so
Game
weird.
day vlogs.
Yeah.
And golf.
Yeah.
A lot
CTE.
of golf.
CTE.
And he did one the other day. He's like, I'm in Adelaide. Not what to do. So I wish the game would start.
That is a very good Jeremy Cameron
Thank
expression
you.
because he does talk exactly. Yeah, just
I love
gotta
Jezza.
get the cows.
The cows.
Yeah, he was holding one the other day. He's like, it's not kicking.
The best moment ever is when he's given his premiership medal to the cow and the
All
cow ran
right,
off.
enough of the Jeremy Cameron loving hour. He won the Legend of the Week. We can move on.
It's a new award that we've given to him.
On NBA Australia, we name it after the dude who's most likely to win it, aka the Draymond Green D Head of the Week,
Yes,
etc.
yes.
But Legend of the Week, it should be the Jeremy Cameron Memorial Legend of the Week award. So.
It's like we have the Mackenzie Arnold Save of the Week.
Yes, in the football today.
Anyway, let's do some old mate, no mates. Who's got no mates this week? The pitch invader. That was dumb.
What about how he just waltzed like
He
there
was-
wasn't?
it was in the contest,
He
wasn't
was
it?
just strolling through like, hey guys, I'm on TikTok having a great time. Like there was no urgency from
security
him.
guard was. He should have old mate, no mates as well.
That is what I'm getting to. The
Oh.
security guard is old mate, no. That is a tough sit down at your next KPI
He's
meeting.
fired, sure.
He's got to do a beat
It's like,
test.
Yeah, I
hey,
know.
hey, Jerry, what were you doing? He's like, oh, well, I had to call it in. So he's running onto the
We
field.
could see it on the TV.
The guy actually stole the security guard's hat as well. Yeah.
Amazing gear. But also old mate, no mates, because he's going to have no mates now because he's not going to go to the footy ever again. It's a bit of an old mate, no mates.
He might get banned from every stadium.
Yeah, he should.
Well, he probably
to be
should, yeah.
honest.
Well, he's been banned for 3 years from the AFL and Adelaide Oval games.
Only 3 years.
But they're going to try and ban him. The AFL is going to try and step in and ban him for life. Plus, he's got a $20,000 fine and.
At least he had his clothes on. That helps.
I think that's worse.
You reckon it's worse?
That's way worse.
to the beer.
You're
Commit
just
to
a
the-
moron. If you're naked and you've got the TikTok camera out, that's legendary gear. You're legend of the
But
week.
they're also-
but you're everyone out there looking like you've just come from the 7-Eleven. Oh, boys, I've got a Coke Zero.
You got a
man.
lighter, man?
Oh, need to get some
He also
durries.
dropped his phone, so one of the security guards has clearly smashed it.
Yeah, he was.
Got out
sorry,
the back
mate,
and just like, oh, sorry, bam, into the wall.
I reckon if you had been Starkers, Legend of the Week, it's like, hey, everybody, look, it's my wang. And you're like, it's pretty funny. Like,
tell
you're
you
trying
what-
to tackle an AFL player while you're Starkers, it's like, you're probably going to get hit, and it's pretty funny.
Who grabbed,
go to jail.
who grabbed onto him first?
Ben Key's got
No,
it.
no,
It's
Matt
bad.
Crouch. Matt Crouch was about to throw him into the.
Then Ben
Keys
Keith
got
went
into
full
him.
Andrew Simons
Yeah.
mode. Yeah.
But either way, look, naked,
If Jeremy Cameron
Funny.
ankle tapped him, I would have lost it. Like he's just running and just Jez sticks out a leg and just trips him.
Looking like you rolled out of, I don't know, like Marcus's house. Not funny. Marcus hasn't been on this show, but anyway.
Check out Cricket Today.
He's been on YouTube.
The other one is Jackson McRae.
He's never going to play again.
Bevo hates this dude. He's old mate, no mates, because Bevo's like,
There's something behind the scenes with that, I reckon. Because
He only had 83 possessions in the VFL today.
I'm pretty sure he won every game of the VFL today.
Yeah.
And yesterday. He won them all. He played in all of them, and he won all of them by himself.
He
was that good.
literally clocked
46 touches,
Yeah.
I think it
Oh,
was.
was it?
16
Yeah.
clearances.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you meant to do?
Jeez.
What else can you do?
Nah, he should have got 50, I think.
Yeah, he needed. Yeah, he
Should have been naked.
See, the thing was,
getting weird
he
now.
had a break even of 232 and he got 211. So
Tough.
Bevo just. Nah, sorry,
It just
mate.
feels very old mate, no mate. Stats
Yeah.
guy?
You got to chuck in Peter Wright. That wasn't great. I don't think it was as bad as some people in the media are saying, but he's old mate, no mate. So like, we can't kick a score without you, Peter Wright. We need Essendon really need him. He's probably
He
going to
had
be out.
4 touches.
Alex mentioned he's gone straight to the tribunal, so that means probably at least 4
Starts
weeks.
at 4.
So yeah, old mate, no mate, so they'll be like, come on, Pete, why'd you do that? But I still think he was a bit unlucky with how it all happened.
I think there is an argument to be made bracing yourself for contact,
Looking at the ball, yeah.
looking at the ball.
You're jumping and getting him in the
He
face.
shouldn't have jumped. That was a bit dumb.
The idea though of like going, oh well, you shouldn't be protecting yourself. It's like, I think that's a natural
Yeah.
instinct.
Yeah.
As you're going to be, oh my god, I'm getting hit.
Yeah.
But you've also laid out a do.
A lot of the media was saying he should have punched a mark, but if he did that, his ribs would have been
When you
gone.
say media, you say Matthew Lloyd.
Cameron Ling.
Yeah, Matthew
Cameron
Lloyd.
Ling as
I
well.
You
didn't-
should have tried to punch it. It's like, when was the last defensive effort you gave, Matty Lloyd? Just saying.
Getting Brad Sewell in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it is a bit of old mate, no mates, because I think you'll just have a lot of Peter Wright content this week, which will be
annoy
ham-fisted
him, yeah.
weird. You'll go back and forth, and you're like, yeah, everybody hates you anyway.
This
Like,
should just,
what are we
honestly,
doing?
this should just go be at the tribunal tomorrow night. Like he's jumped into him, he's knocked him out, he's concussed him. All right.
In the rules, yeah. they've
Instead
got
of Tuesday night, we have to listen to this tomorrow and Tuesday.
Yep. Alex, old mate, no mates.
I was going to go Tom Papley, but then you said that's awesome gear. But in Victoria specifically, Tom Papley, old mate, no mates, for coming out and saying Essendon are fake tough guys. They went at us and we'll try and win the game of football.
Lots of people already didn't like him anyway. So
Yeah,
that
but
doesn't help.
as said,
But I like him.
kicked 4, had 20, won the game.
I believe that basically Tom Papley's entire idea was Essendon fans, cry more.
Yeah.
All right. Why I can't stand, a.k.a. Vent Sesh's little brother. Mine is very simply buys. Now, round 2. As I hit on this, I think on the Wednesday night show, it's silly. It's round 2.
You don't need to buy
I
it,
had to
yeah.
try to explain this to old mate. So my wife, she was like, so why aren't Carlton playing this week? I'm like, well, you see, they played round 0. She's like, was that the opening round? I'm like, yes. So and
It's
she's
too
like,
early for a
Did
bye,
everyone
yeah.
play? So no. It's like, why? Well,
That's another story.
it's complicated.
Listen, today.
Inside, we have been rants. It's great to have your support there, lady. Anyway,
Subscribe and stars.
yeah, 5 stars all the time. But it's like, to be honest, as good as it was for actually the Blues to have the week off physically after 2 pretty tough games,
It's still
etc.
too early.
Also
It was
a chance
also
to-
really weird to not have Carlton play in round 2.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have that in round 5, 6.
Yeah, and Brisbane
makes more sense.
Brisbane
Yeah.
was the same thing. Like, I think
Brisbane needed the bye though.
Probably.
this is my point, though. I think for both fans, for players, for the media, footy is a game of momentum.
Yeah.
And like
Especially
fans,
for the Blues.
fans especially, like going, right, footy's back. Well, for only 8 teams. And then round 1 happens like, footy's back for everybody. And then it's like round 2 is like, well, not for everybody. So Brisbane fans, Carlton fans, I love having a bye. I'm like, this is great.
You don't
I don't
have
have
to
to
be
stress
out,
We don't have
yeah.
to watch Jim's heart rate.
Yeah.
Like, it's all right. But just that sheer momentum, I think Carlton, they probably needed the week off from, as I mentioned, like injuries and stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of sucky. But as a fan, like you want that thing to just keep on rolling. And Brisbane, they're on the other end and it's like, this sucks. We need the break. But I think fans of those teams would be like, what am I doing this week?
Okay, so how do you look at it now after 3 games? So this week, so as in this coming weekend for Easter, GWS and Gold Coast have the week off. So GWS have hit the ground running. They've won 3 games quite easily. 2 of them have been against West Coast and North.
It's still too early for buys. Like, no, there's no team that needs a buy right
Exactly.
now.
The
Yeah.
entire concept of having the buys because
like
we had
the
opening
teams get
round is
freshened
completely
up.
fraught. It's
Yeah.
like we should have just
you
not had
realise we're
opening round or
realise
just
we're
had
also
everyone playing.
in a couple of years we're going to have even more buys because of Tassie.
True. That's going to be annoying. But yeah.
Floating buys, that's
Yeah.
fine. Anyway, I can't stand having buys in round 2. It's just dumb. Like
Yeah.
everybody should be able to, as I said, feed me the footy.
Yeah.
Just give me the footy. I
park,
want all
footy
the footy.
park.
Give me all the footy. I can watch all the other teams, but I want to care about my team. in round 2 of a season.
Makes
this
sense.
isn't NRL.
So I'm not going to mind it come around 6 months. Yeah, the boys have been good for the first 5 weeks.
All right, Alex.
Boundary umpires not knowing where the goddamn line is.
That was shocking.
Well, we had the Kyle Langford out in the full, which was just completely out in the full. It was out by about 2 metres.
That was horrible.
Jack Higgins's was contentious. It could have been...
I think it was just over. Yeah.
It just all comes back to the, hey, we absolutely need ball tracking
Jim
and
was
have
talking about
for
it,
years. Thankfully, it was talked about at a sports conference this week that Jim went to.
Yes.
So that's good.
But it's also something we've known for years that we need. How in 2024 do we not have it given we get billions of dollars for TV revenue?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Chucking into that, that was shocking. The Jack Higgins one, you can sort of let it off.
But the Kyle Langford one,
that was like 2 minutes.
was genuinely out by 2 minutes. He literally was in the first row sipping that dude's beer.
He was on the
That
second.
was my joke that I made last week.
Oh, was it? Sorry.
It's filtering.
And then we had it, and we had it in the first round in Adelaide as well, which was out by about 3 minutes.
True.
Yeah. As I said, he went into the stands, bought a hot dog and beer.
Yeah, there we go.
Consumed them, and then
And then
came
he kicked
on
it.
and
And then he
kicked the
came back
ball.
out and kicked.
But yeah,
Anyway.
it's just ball tracking absolutely needed. It just has to be in everywhere by the start of next year.
It'll
I don't know if it will.
be-
We'll start in the VFL, I reckon, or something.
I think
No,
that'll be a little bit more
they started the trials this weekend, but
did
the
they?
thing is that they now are not for just goals. We're going to need it for the boundary lines
Yeah,
too.
that's their problem. So anyway,
Yeah.
Stats boy.
All right. Well, I can't stand umpires not holding the ball anymore.
Yeah,
is
that's been
that a
big this
thing
week.
that they've been told this year? I was at the North game and the Hawks game, or the Hawks Melbourne game.
It has come up on broadcast a lot as well.
Yeah,
where
they
they're
are,
just
but-
like,
Well, that was holding the ball.
That was a bit
So,
weird.
like, I can understand the ones where you got no prior, the ball just bobbled out. All right.
What
but
about
there's
when
been
Jordan
so
De Goey
many-
got run down by Jaymz Rowbottom last week?
Yeah, exactly. But in the North Freo game for both teams, there was guys would take 3 steps, holding the ball. They literally dropped the ball after being tackled, play on, and it happened way too much, and it sort of made the
That
game
was
a bit
the
more congested.
non-rule of the week.
Yeah, so I don't know if they've been told or something like that. The umpires do get told certain things to look out for, but the holding the ball, that's what the fans go to the game to scream ball. That's like the one thing that Aussie fans do in
The
AFL.
one thing North fans get to cheer because
Exactly.
they don't kick goals.
Yeah, we had a lot of we kicked a lot of goals still, but not enough.
It's also Jeremy Cameron pays holding the ball, so
Yeah, but I don't know what the hell's going on with
It
that.
is like weird because it is intrinsic to the entire game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's
literally
like
the most
if you
fun
have the
part.
if you have the ball
Other
and
than
then
goals.
get tackled or don't get rid of the ball correctly, it's holding
Yeah.
the ball and you are penalised.
Or like they could pay a
What are we
throw. It
doing?
doesn't have to be holding the ball. It's just they're not paying throws or holding the ball. And this other one is in danger. They don't pay that anymore as well.
yeah, some Richmond dude, Port Adelaide dude got his hand kicked off by Shea
Yeah.
Bolnoa. Play on.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Can't stand all of that. SuperCoach, Wash, Stats Boy. Obviously, we had Luke Jackson repaid the faith. Big 174. Dacos was a shocker at 54.
Yeah.
But because this week was a bye week,
Best 18.
best 18.
Best
So
18
I
is
think he
very
actually
handy,
rolled
yeah.
out
Yes.
of your actual scoring. So
Yeah.
especially if you had some half-decent rookies. For me, specifically, my backline was an absolute horror show because I had Dacos. I also have Hayden Young, who was very bad,
He's
and
out.
Jaden Short, who was also bad. So
Short's role is just not super coach worthy.
I said
anymore,
Rosie
yeah.
instead of Butters because I was like feeling pretty
too.
good. It's like,
I have Butters. Yeah, Butters. What did he ended up on?
170 something.
175.
Absolutely brutal.
So there
There
was
you go.
some massive scores. You got Jackson, 178. You got Bont 136. Butters 175. Yeah. So yeah, you could
Currently,
some big scores.
with not like a couple of minutes to go in this West Coast game. Jeremy McGovern's on 142.
Really? Because
Yeah.
it's come down there a million times. Yeah. Okay.
So like your stupid sexy Flanders ripped off another ton. Heen Machine and 128 again.
Heaney's going to go up so much in
Yeah,
price.
his break even
I
was
wish I got
negative
him.
12. But then you like looking at those like rookies, McKercher 95,
Yeah.
Sanders 99. Not a rookie, but Matty Roberts 94 for the Swans.
cheap, yep.
A lot of people picked him up. Petrarca ripped off 146 as well. So good players
There's
playing good footy.
a bunch of really good options on the bubble, obviously, this week. And
Clary Oliver's going to be great after Melbourne's bye.
People might pick him up now.
Nah, but he's still going to drop in price because he hasn't hit his
meant
break
after that.
even.
Yep.
Either way, you can listen to the official SuperCoach podcast hosted by moi with a couple of the greatest minds in all of SuperCoach hanging out with me. It's pretty good. Instead, today I've just got you two morons. But
Yeah,
either way,
fair.
it's all good. That'll actually do it, I think, for round 2 of the AFL Today show for today. We will, of course, be back with the Wednesday midweek show where we wrap up all the biggest storylines from your AFL week, looking back, looking
Easter
forward.
weekend.
Yeah.
We have a massive array of footy this weekend too. So our Sunday show will actually be next Monday for the Easter Monday Clash, which will be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Stats guy and I will be coming in hot from the MCG.
Oh, that's
Few
one of my
tins
favourite
deep.
games to go to every year.
Yeah.
It's
Few
always-
tins
it's always
deep.
good.
They've both put each other in headlocks on the walk here. It's going to be great.
It'd be awesome.
We're separating them like my mum separating me and the brothers. Like, oi, break it up. Off they they go like, you stop it. Stop picking on your little brother. But either way, remember to smash AFL Today, a like across all of the socials.
Yep.
They're all there.
Yep.
They're very fun, especially the TikTok, the YouTube stuff, the IG stuff. The video stuff is particularly cool. So watch it, would you? What are you doing? It's very cool. So subscribe, star, and like all of our shows, in fact, on your favourite podcast app. You can check out the Cricket Today podcast, the Football Today podcast, NBA Australia, NFL Australia, and NRL Today very, very, very soon, as well as Hold All Tickets, where Alex will be yelling about horses.
We had a great weekend actually on the tip this week.
Oh,
Very
lovely.
nice. I'm just excited to have footy back for me after a round 2 bye.
Oh, you got to have an opening round at least.
I did, but it was still... Come on, man. What are we doing? But either way, looking forward to a massive Easter week, but we will set you all up for that on Wednesday and Thursday this week on those shows and wrap it all up for you next Monday. So get around this, get around that, like Tony Plugger-Locker getting around.
Trish's roast chicken in 1997. Happy
Nice
birthday,
one.
Mum.
Yeah, you said
On
that's
you,
a
Trish.
bit of a...
And a massive
Very
shout
nice.
to our man Ado, who today, during the pub cricket, big day not out, took 4 wickets in a maiden.
Wow.
You only bowl
We love that.
1 over each in 10 over
Oh, you only
games.
bowled- and he got
So-
4 wickets.
and he took 4 wickets.
Jeez.
And he somehow didn't take
in
a
maiden.
hat trick.
He somehow
That's
did not
crazy.
get a hat trick.
That's crazy.
So on you, Ado. Good job.
Well done.
All right, we'll catch you later this week for more AFL Today. Till then, look after yourselves, would you? And remember, footy's back.